How you doing? This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Well, I listened to Nori's show partway of on. This guy wrote a book about the sun's going to get cold and by 2020. We're all going to be freezing, and the crops are going to die, and people are going to starve. And I got an amusing post in the email saying the Muslims blamed yo-yos on the drought in 1930, and they banned yo-yos. They blamed that on the drought. So maybe Obama now will ban yo-yos. Anyway, this is a quick video. I just want to show you guys, and I'm going to turn the light off here. This is a video. It's on the Daily Mirror site as well, but this is also on YouTube. It says, video sky light up with spectacular electric fire triggered by heavy snow on power lines in Warren, Michigan. Now, there's the video. God, I hate this thing that this thing glares. I wish there were a way to put a thing that wouldn't glare so much. All right, let me see what happens if I turn the light off. And I'll click on this. And you might be able to see this. Let's see. Did I get it started? No, I didn't. There we go. But it's really something to see. Particularly when this one line goes off, somebody loses their Christmas lights, and then this one line just absolutely explodes. And it's a pity it didn't make it sideways instead of this social thing for mobile devices, because it really needed to be, there it goes, needed to be full screen. You can hear the ground sizzling and the wire sizzling.
Yeah. The transformer and the power lines. Yeah. Not much we can do.
And I think I read a thing that 24,000 people in the area were without power after this happened. So go check this out on YouTube. It's an amazing video. Now I'm a little puzzled. They said after Nori's show that, oh no, the Weather Channel said we're going to get El Nino conditions. It's going to be a warm winter, and there won't be a lot of snowstorms. And yet you've got massive snowstorms going across the Midwest and the West. And here in California, we're getting rain, 35-mile-an-hour winds with snow in the Sierras. And you got Minneapolis and places like that, a foot of snow. So I don't get it. Who's right and who's wrong? And just give me a minute. I gotta find my Administrator Justin's videos. Winter Storm Delphi bringing more snow to northern plains. Fresh off the heels of Winter Storm Kara, the next heavy snow is targeting parts of the north-central U.S. and including Minneapolis, which is where he is. And 3 to 5 inches of snow above Minneapolis, 5 to 8 in Sioux Falls, Rapid City 1 to 3, Sioux City 1 to 3, and 8 to 12 out in the hinterlands. They're telling people not to drive in South Dakota, Iowa, and 5 inches of snow in northeast Nebraska, eastern central South Dakota, southeast North Dakota, northwest half of Iowa, southern central and northeast Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin, lighter snowfall. Oh yeah, it says also here, Sioux City, Sioux Falls, Watertown, Mankato, Duluth, and Minneapolis, St. Paul. Lighter snowfall possible northern Minnesota, eastern Colorado, northern Kansas, western central southern Nebraska, western South Dakota, southern North Dakota, northeast Wisconsin, upper peninsula Michigan, includes Fargo, Omaha, La Crosse, Bismarck, and North Platte. Light ice accumulations are possible from central and northeast Kansas to central Iowa, extreme southeast Minnesota, west central northern Wisconsin, the upper peninsula Michigan. Parts of southeast South Dakota, northeast Nebraska, and northern Iowa finished digging out Winter Storm Bella, which dumped 18 inches of snow near Sioux Falls November 20th. And so here's the forecast. And if you look, you can see the graphic. I don't know if you can see that clearly. You're talking 27, 32, rain in Chicago, and snow in Omaha, 24 in Omaha, 22 in Pierre, snow all over the place. And then a high pressure zone wraps in, a Rex block they call it. And yet they're saying we lived through the hottest 5-year period ever recorded. So I don't know what the hell to believe. Because Nori had this guest saying in 5 years we're going and the sun's going to shut down, or like a dampened furnace, and we're all going to start freezing. You tell me what's going on. I don't know. They're saying we're going to have warmer winters because of El Nino. My living room all the time. I didn't have to crank an electric blanket up and stay under that practically all the time. I'm freezing in here. All right, go check that out. Oh, and one other thing, there's a video that someone sent me in my inbox. And let me find it. Oh, and I want to welcome, who are you? Jackpot777. I love the handle. As new subscribers to my channel. And must see video 1. Sorry about that. Must see video 1. He also subscribed and sent me. Let's see who sent me that link. The Kuhner Report, that's Kuhner Report, November 30th, 2015. Jeff Kuhner claims Donald Trump is telling the truth about 9/11. And he worked the Washington Times on 9/11, and his editor told him and the other reporters to tone down the numbers on the numbers they were seeing of dancing Muslims in the streets in New Jersey. So they toned it down from hundreds to scores. Now, a score is 10. Instead of hundreds of Muslims, you had scores of Muslims, like, 40, 50 Muslims. So there's another confirmation that Trump was right. But you need to check this out because Upchuck Todd of Meet the Mess, I love what Kuhner calls it, I'm going to steal that, goes all over Trump and literally calls him a liar. And Trump says, I saw it. I'm getting hundreds of calls at my headquarters by people in Florida and all over who were from New Jersey. They saw it. I'm getting hundreds of tweets by people who said they saw it. And Upchuck tried to say, well, this is all hearsay evidence. There's no proof. There's no stories. There's no videos. Well, of course there's no videos, you idiot. The leftist media didn't downplay this. They didn't want Muslim backlash. And they didn't want to blame it on anybody but Al-Qaeda. There might be American Muslims sympathetic to Al-Qaeda. We already know at least one guy had a missile that killed him, and he was operating a restaurant in Dearborn, and he was sending funds to Al-Qaeda. But we managed to kill him. He's now sitting with the 47 virgins. So there's reasons why you're not seeing any of this footage. People said they taped it. They didn't think it would be important, and now that they don't use VCRs, they have no way to transfer it. I got an inbox from that by somebody. Said she actually saw it and taped the video of them in this country cheering the destruction of the World Trade Center buildings. All right. Try to stay warm out there. And Area 51, you really need to get a better phone for your car because it sounds like you're static on a hot plate. And he reminded me to shout him out, and I will do one other thing he said I don't do anymore. And I guess I just, with everything that was going on, I forgot. Free the duck. Oh yeah, one other thing. Bellgab. You bums, you trolls, you cretins. There's a Yiddish word called a zwirgla, something you stomp on. It's like a centipede. That's not worth living, but you have to kill it because it'll bite you. You guys have no ethics, no morals, no decency. They accused me of killing my father and killing my first girlfriend, who was terrified because she got involved with a guy who was abusive and who beat her and kicked her in the stomach, and she had a miscarriage and lost her baby from it. She got the courage to run away, but she was literally in fear of her life, and within less than a year, she was dead at 25. This was in 1977. And I didn't even know about it till last year when I found that I was walking around in a daze for a better part of a week because my first girlfriend was dead. And I'd always thought we'd get together, and I loved her dearly. She was the sweetest, kindest person I'd ever known. Never lost her temper. Never did anything that anybody would dislike. Everybody who knew her except this jerk she got involved with loved her. She was an absolute sweetheart. But I was living in Sacramento when she died. They even said like helped kill my father. My father died in a bathtub in a hotel in San Francisco. I produced a video, and it's on here, showing the newspaper article from the Sunday San Francisco Chronicle about a month after, or 2 months after he died. Day in the life of the San Francisco coroner. He died in a bathtub. He had a heart attack and then drowned. And I was in Los Angeles at the time, 390 miles away. So the haters on Bellgab, and I'm also see that I've gotten in the last month 450 dislikes to my videos, which is statistically impossible. There's a campaign to drive me off of YouTube. They can't stand it because I tell the truth. And I tell the truth about them and call them out for what they are, which is scum. I don't lie about anything I say. I may forget stuff that I say, or I may get tongue-tied or maybe tired and make mistakes like I did in my Trump video. I firmly believe Donald Trump saw Muslims demonstrating and cheering in northern New Jersey. And other people are saying that on other sites too. They saw it. But those videos have disappeared off the internet. They're on YouTube, and you might have to find someone who took it off their television and put it on a VCR and can transfer it to a DVD before you ever see that stuff appear on YouTube. And to give you an example of things that disappear, I lived in Sacramento in the 80s, and I happened to be getting ready to tape an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, I think. And the Channel 40 News came on, and they came on to a story that said scientists had found a way to make cigarettes and heroin and alcohol all non-addicting. You would not have any of the negative effects of those three items. And that story was never aired again. You never heard about it. It disappeared. And the next story, and that's why I kept the tape for years. I lost my storage in 2001. The next story that came out after that, Gene Roddenberry died. And so I kept that for years for the two stories. But you had scientists develop a way that heroin would not be addictive. They could just shut it down and it would be inert. Alcohol would not get you drunk, like synthahol from Star Trek. And cigarettes would not get you addicted to the nicotine and the other chemicals in cigarettes. Somebody must have bought somebody off because you never heard of it again. And I still lived in Sacramento for another 6 years. That never appeared in the news, never appeared in the newspapers. And I looked all over the net. That story is nowhere. So things can be manipulated, things can be bought off, and things can be taken off the net. But some places still have paper newspaper files. Not everything has gone to microfilm, not everything has gone to digital. And that's where you're going to find the stories about 9/11 and what really happened. and that American Muslims did cheer 9/11 like they did in Dearborn and East Lansing. And North American Muslims cheered at a college in Montreal, which Jeff Kuhner talks about. He went to that college. There were so many of them, they were blocking traffic and blocking the streets. No one could drive through that street. So Trump isn't lying. Oh, there's another thing Kuhner said. He says that the Democrats have taken a poll, and there's an all-out effort to discredit Donald Trump to make sure he does not get the Republican nomination, because they had two people they took a poll on, and both of them will beat the living crap out of the Hildebeest, Donald Trump or Ted Cruz. If you run Mr. Press 2 for Spanish, Bush, or Mario I Love Amnesty Rubio, Hillary will win hands down. They're scared to death of Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. But they're probably more scared to death of Donald Trump because they can't buy him off. All right, I got to go. There's the phone. Have a great evening. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.